And you scroll at the bottom. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Power Woman series, where every woman's story is a masterpiece in the making. I'm your host, Seun Akinlotun, founder and president of the Power Woman Experience Foundation, and I'm thrilled that you're here with us today. To every woman beholding my face and hearing my voice at the moment, I want to take the time to wish you a very happy International Women's Day. In honor of this celebration, we have a very special guest joining us. She's a remarkable woman who wears many hats. She's a devoted wife, a loving mother, and an accomplished college instructor with a doctorate in finance. Today, we're diving into the heart of what makes her the powerhouse that she is. From navigating the intricate dance of life's challenges to nurturing love in its many forms and excelling in a career against all odds, our guest's journey is nothing short of inspiring. So, whether you're tuning in from the bustling streets of New York City or the serene countryside of Japan, you are in for a treat as we explore the universal themes of life, love, and career with our guest as our guide. So I encourage you right now to grab your favorite beverage, settle in your comfiest chair, and get ready to be inspired. From beginning to end, this promises to be an unforgettable episode filled with wisdom, laughter, and a whole lot of girl power. All right, Yahal, take over the comment section and join me in welcoming Dr. Bolanle Amusa, fondly known as Dr. B. Please welcome our guest. All right. Good evening, Ma. How are
Good
you doing?
evening, Oluwaseun.
Oh, thank
Good
you so
evening,
much
I'm
for
fine. Thank
joining us
you.
today. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on board. I can't wait to dive into the heart of the matter. And I just wanted to let you know that a lot of people are excited and they are yearning to hear from you. This is an opportunity for us to learn, share, and grow together. Before we get started, though, I would like to recognize some of the people that are here because they could be anywhere else right now and they've chosen to be here with us. And that speaks to their level of commitment, their desire to learn, to be better people. And if you are watching us from home, any location you are right now, please leave your name in the chat box so that we can give you a shout out. Your name and your location, or perhaps tell us what you do. Or if you don't want to tell us what you do, tell us what you are expecting to get out of this session today. All right, so we have Shoboyejo Tolulope says, my queen looking freshest. Yes, that's what we do. We invent words, right? Okay, so Omolola Akwesho says, welcome, Ma. We have been eagerly waiting for you.
Thank you.
And Tolulope says, I make the best of father in Lagos, Nigeria. I can testify to that.
Oh,
So when
wow.
next you are in Lagos, you want to try out Ofada. Oh, we have Amina Atkins from Developing Excellence. Thank you for joining us, Miss Atkins. It's a pleasure to have you here. Omolola is watching from Santa Catarina, Brazil. I am expecting to be blessed and encouraged. Surely you will. And we
Yeah.
have Bolanle
Amen.
Ikunle. She's welcoming you. So, Dr. B, oh, okay, we have one more person. That's Dicey Okwebi, a
Yes.
veterinary professional from England.
Amen.
Looks like a global event already. We have Itoripe from Maryland, USA. She's looking forward to learning from you. Wow, this is beautiful.
Oh,
Well, I want to
wow.
welcome everyone once again. Okay, we do have Sarah Arosho from Ado Ekiti. She's looking forward to learning from a scholar, and she is a scholar as well. Thank you,
Wow.
everyone, once again for joining us. We are in for a great time today. And if you have not shared this video, I want to encourage you to go ahead and share it with all your contacts. This session is not just for women, it's for men, women, old, young, whatever category of life you are now, you are eligible to be on this show. So please go ahead and share. Dr. B, how are you doing today? How do you feel?
I'm good.
Okay,
I
you're
feel good. I
ready to
feel good to
dive
be
in.
here with you. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. So I'm not going to waste any more time. You've had a remarkable journey from the banking industry to academia. I was reading your bio and I was simply blown away by the amount of things that you've been able to put under your belt. So I know that you started your career in banking. Now you're in academia. Could you please share with us what inspired your transition and how it has shaped your career path?
Okay. Thank you very much, Oluwaseun. I join you to welcome everyone who is watching us from across the globe. And I thank you for inviting me to this program. Like you rightly introduced me, my name is Bolanle Olubumi Amusa. I'm fondly called Dr. B by my lovers. I am an educator. I'm a senior lecturer at the Gateway ICT Polytechnic Shapade, Ogun State, Nigeria. Okay, to your question, I don't want to waste your time. I okay, you want to know the journey from banking to academia. All right.
Sure.
Okay, let me start by saying that I want to start by giving glory to the Almighty God, who has counted me worthy to achieve certain feats in life.
Hmm.
That as it may, I can say that I've always been in love with teaching. I've always been in love with academics. And I discovered my love for teaching and imparting knowledge in year 2000 when I served as a youth corper in in a local government secondary school in Rivers State.
Hmm.
Okay. So I noticed that I had a kind of fulfillment in teaching students and having feedbacks from them. But as a rational young woman, I finished service and I realized I was also passionate about getting a job, a career, starting a career that will give me a source of livelihood, that will enable me and my spouse to take care of our family. So I finished service and started looking for a bank job, which was one of the most lucrative career back then,
I
in the
agree.
early 2000s. However, because of my love for education, I sought admission, and got an admission to read Masters of Science in Economics at the
Okay.
University of Lagos. Yes. Then I was working at our bank branch, at our head office branch um, in Victoria Highland. So when I got employed into the bank, I was also running my master's degree program at Unilag. But it was a tug of war. I would rush from work and get to Unilag after they had already finished the evening lectures, only to come back to the office the next day to meet a query. Wow. So I was struggling and struggling until one of my colleagues advised that I stopped the program since it was not going to be a criteria for my promotion. But the queries would definitely have adverse effects on my promotion and then, automatically on my career at the bank. So that was how I abandoned the program without even thinking about the option of deferring that admission. So,
Wow.
but as God would have it, His plan for each and everyone is perfect. I had my second child, and then I faced so much challenges in keeping up with the bank job and raising the kids. That was when I remembered my passion and then decided to follow my heart.
Wow.
Thank you.
So you basically resigned? Did you resign from your
No, I
banking
did
job at
not.
that point?
No, I did not resign. The bank actually went under, under the recapitalization program of Soludo when he was
Hmm.
the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. Okay, so instead of looking for another bank job, I submitted applications and people were moving. I refused to settle into another bank and then decided to change my career. I knew it was God talking to me anyway.
Wow, awesome. Thank you for answering that because it's a big decision that you made to transition from banking to academia. And I was just wondering when your coworker or colleague had mentioned to you that you should give up the academia. Did you discuss that? Were you married at that time? Was that a decision that you reached after you've thought about it carefully, or was it just the spur of the moment?
And no, I was married and my husband did not actually like the idea, but I was able to, you know, because even that time we were not living together. He's a poultry farmer and I was a banker. So he was in Ijebu while I was in Lagos. So I didn't like the idea of living apart from him and being a weekend wife. Okay, so I told him that I was able to convince him that at least there are banks in Ijebu, in Ogun State. So let me go there and look for a bank job. So I will not say I deceived him, but I was, in a cunning way. I actually wanted him to agree with me that we should be together. Meanwhile, in the deepest of my heart, I knew I was not going back to the bank. I was going to look for something else to do.
Wow.
So that was
Yeah,
it.
so it takes wisdom to be able to achieve certain things in
Yeah,
life.
yes,
Thank you for
because
that response, Ma. It looks like you have something additional to add to
yes,
that.
because yes, because it was a very difficult decision to make. It took a whole lot of me to be able to face that fact that I was not going to be a banker anymore.
Wow. Yes, because when you think about the financial incentives that you'll be losing, then you might want to stay put. But it has turned out to be beautiful today. So that was a good decision on your part. If you are just joining us, I want to warmly welcome you to the Power Woman series, where every woman's story is potentially a great story. And today we have Dr. Bolanle Amusa with us. We are exploring the themes of life, love, and career. And of course, she already mentioned something that I know a lot of us are also interested in, and that is a love story. We would love to hear about it. She mentioned that one of the motivations she had when she left her banking job was to be with her husband due to the distance that had been created due to our job. Now, can you share with us, Dr. Amusa, the story of how you met your husband? We want to know the real gist. Give us the nitty gritty. We don't want the polished version. So,
All right.
give us the real scoop.
Oluwaseun. All right. Okay. There is actually no way I will tell the story of my life without talking about how I met this amazing guy that is now my husband.
Ooh,
He has been my husband for the past 20 years,
wow.
and he was my friend for 9 years before we got married. So
29
we've been
years.
together for 29 years. Yes. In fact, I will tell you that meeting him, is the most important event of my life, aside the day I was born. We were both classmates at the then Ogun State Polytechnic, Abeokuta, now Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. You know, this guy would always come to ask for my notes. And though I was always annoyed, wondering why he would always ask for my notes at the end of every lecture.
Mm,
But sincerely, I have to confess that he was very cute and had this very calm personality.
okay.
Then our classmates started calling us brother and sister because they thought we looked alike.
Okay.
We
I love
became
that type
friends.
of brother and sister.
We became friends and inseparables. The qualities I saw are distinct. He's very calm. He was very calm and he's still very calm. He doesn't talk much. And of course, he was very handsome and he's still very handsome. Back then, with his epic punk hairstyle, he was very cute. So after we became close friends, I discovered he's very intelligent and ambitious, even at that very young age. We were 18.
18
And
years. Okay, now.
yes, we were 18, and he already knew what he wanted to do with his life.
Hmm.
And that's what he does today. His outward character was what actually endeared me to him,
Okay.
only to
Done the
discover
brother
that
and
his inward
sister
character,
part.
yes, no, only to discover that his inward character is even better.
Hmm.
So that's what you want to hear,
I
Shane.
want to hear more. And the reason I'm going to press you about it is the
Okay.
fact that you met him in school And when we talk about relationships, when we talk about love generally, people typically opt for, people have different preferences. And I don't think that there's a right preference or wrong preference, but sometimes it might be it might be helpful when we hear from people that have been able to grow together from a young age. And at 18, that's an age where a lot of girls don't want to date maybe a similar 18-year-old or someone in their class. A lot of girls typically want a ready-made man, in quote. But I think that your own story, being able to see beyond now, it does seem like you saw not just who he was at that time. Your focus was on the potential, the ability to see the future somewhat, and to be able to say, you know what, I want to give this person a chance. So I want to find out more about what convinced you that this is the man for you.
Okay. I just saw my husband's comment. This guy is watching from Lagos.
Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. What can I say? Maybe I should say that there was this conviction in me that is my soulmate.
Conviction. Wow.
Yes, yes. And like I told you, he was a very calm guy, very focused, although very playful. But I was I was a young girl that that was looking forward to a very beautiful future. Sheung, we that attended girls' schools,
Up
girls' secondary school.
school.
Oh, we are very particular about love.
True.
And yes, we are. We take love seriously. And I'm sure that most of us did not actually go for the worldly things, as in the riches, the material things. And then I'm talking about the time when money was not the main thing as it is now.
Yes.
I can boldly tell you that I was not the only one that got married to a classmate.
Hmm.
We had people that, and even classmates, and then, senior schoolmates. I have friends that then their husbands, their present husbands now, their husbands now were their seniors. Maybe we were in ND classes and they were in HND classes. So I want to tell you that even now, because I tell my students when I teach them that I always tell this story. I tell this story, I've told it over and over again. Because the boys in the classes will be telling you that the girls are refusing to go out with them. And I've been telling them, I've been encouraging them. When you see a guy that knows what he's doing, do not think about the money. It is not all about money. Look into the inner character of the person. You can see it. I don't want to believe that some people will say they have made wrong choices. I'm not saying that you cannot make a wrong choice, but I want to let you know that you must have seen the signs. The signs will be there. So I think I was patient. I was watching the signs and I saw that he really loved me. And it is that love that still sustains us till today.
I'm
Because
getting mushy.
it is not enough. It is not enough for you to be with someone that has money. The person must care for you genuinely. So it is that genuine care, you know, that developed into love over the years. It was first affection,
Mm.
then it now developed into love over the years. So whenever I hear people that say they meet people and they love them the first day, I don't know. I don't believe in such. I don't know if there's something like love at the first sight, but I believe that love is built upon trust,
Wow. Love is
and
built upon trust.
companionship.
Love is built upon trust and companionship. I'm
Yes.
definitely taking that away with me. And thank you for sharing your story with us and the qualities that stood out inside of him that prompted you to make that decision to get married to him. Now, this marriage has produced three beautiful children to the glory of God. And as a dedicated instructor, I know one question that might be burning in the minds of a lot of people is how do you ensure your family remains a priority while also excelling in your professional endeavors? Do you want to shed some light into that for us, please?
Okay. How do I ensure that my family remains a priority? I think it is easy, Sheung,
Hmm.
when you are somewhere that you love, your heart and soul is there. Definitely, they will be your priority. These children are a product of love and trust built over the years. So it has always been at the back of my mind that they are the most important. My husband and my children are the most important in my life. So I've always held them as the most important part of my life. So anything I was doing, I would always have them as a priority. So I'm not telling you that I've been a perfect wife. It is only my husband that can assess me on that. But I can tell you, but I can tell you that I have always tried to be there almost every time. So the few times that I was not there for them, I'm sure they really understood and then believed that it was just because I couldn't help it. So take your family, your nuclear family, as your priority, and you won't ever go wrong.
Wow. Take your nuclear family as your priority and you won't ever go wrong. Thank you for sharing that nugget with us. Now, you are a senior lecturer, which we also refer to as instructor in some other parts of the world. And in your tenure, you've held different leadership roles, different positions. What strategies have you employed to advance in your career, especially as a woman, to make a lasting impact in your field, even as we think about International Women's Day, inspire inclusion? So, what are some of the strategies that you have employed to help you move further along in your career that you can share with other people that might be watching right now?
Okay, the first strategy, or I would rather say, the first quality that my bosses have always pointed out that stands me out anytime is dedication. In all I have been doing, dedication has always been my watchword. Every task I was given, I carried out with the whole of me. That some people even saw me as being high handed. Sheung, if we are supposed to work together and you are drawing me back, I won't smile at you. When we successfully finish our task, we will then play. People that know me well know that I am very playful, but I do not joke with my work. Meanwhile, you asked for some tips, you know, on breaking barriers because it is a, you will agree with me that it is a male dominated,
Field.
in, yes, it's a male dominated field. The first tip that I can offer is that as a woman in a male dominated field, you should learn to voice your opinion. Do
Wow.
not do not be afraid to speak up when you see something going wrong. They will definitely tag you. They will say, it's not easy to work with a woman. You have to be patient with her. But they will know that you have said your own and people are taking records.
People are
You may
making
not,
notes.
yes, they are taking notes. Then make sure that as a woman, you remain a lifelong learner.
Wow.
Be always want to learn something new. Play to your strength, identify your strengths, but know that there is always room for improvement. Do not say, I know it all. Then build your confidence. How do you build your confidence? I always
Exactly.
tell
That's the question. How do you build
how
confidence?
do you build confidence? As a woman, you will agree with me that when you put on a beautiful dress, I'm not saying an expensive dress,
Okay.
you wear what fits you.
Okay.
You should note the style that fits you. That is fashion for me. Put on a beautiful dress. Make sure that your hair is well done.
Okay.
Do not be tacky.
All
Make sure
right.
that putting on a high heels, you can carry them well. If
Okay.
you know you cannot carry heels, make sure that you put on platforms. If you cannot carry platforms, then be on a flat sole footwear. Just know that you are comfortable. When you are comfortable in what you wear, then it will build your confidence.
True.
Yes, learn how to speak very well so that when you speak, at least people, I'm not saying that you must have an accent. It's not compulsory you have an accent, but speak well. Make sure
Yeah.
that when you open your mouth, people are ready to listen. People are willing to listen. And then the last one is that you should give an extra 1%. Go the extra mile. Do not say, okay, this is the task that was given to me. I have done my own. Oh, this is what they said I should do. Okay, I've done it. Oh, knowing fully well that there's still a long way to go. Put in that extra 1%. And
Without
then
being told.
without being told. And then people will always remember you for good.
People will always remember you for good. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing all these nuggets. And it looks like a lot of people are agreeing with you. So Adenike Jinodu says, yes, that's my power woman. And we have Adenike Akiogbe saying dedication is one of the strategies that women can use, or in fact, anyone can use to advance in their careers. And Ahmed Blessing says, quality that stands you out, make dedication your watchword. It looks like that is resonating with her. Tolulope Shoboye just says, do not be afraid to speak up. And we have a Toripe, the woman that gets the job done. I love that. And that resonates deeply with me. Thank you for your dedication to service, Ma. I also want to read this. Dressing can build your confidence. Absolutely. I feel very confident right now in my dressing. I was feeling myself, checking myself out in the mirror before we started this session, and I feel really good. So I agree that dressing can inspire confidence. Remain a lifelong learner, of course, because when you open up your mouth to speak, it is what you have deposited inside of you that will come out. So if you are not learning, it will reflect in the way that you speak. I love all these gems that you've shared with us. Amot Isaac Ajayi says, these are gems. Thank you, everyone, for that. And thank you for Dr. B for sharing real life tips that we can immediately implement to advance in our careers as well. Let's talk a little bit about entrepreneurship development and finance. I know that these are areas that you've been deeply involved. Can you please share some lessons or insights that you've gained from these experiences that have shaped your approach to both life and career?
Okay, entrepreneurship and finance. Okay, that's my field.
Yes.
Okay. All right. When we talk about entrepreneurship, we any activity, any entrepreneurial activity requires financing, because the processes of production, investment, and marketing need various sources of financing. You will agree with me.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then understanding these financial concepts and practices empowers entrepreneurs, whether a man or a woman, to make informed decisions. They are able to manage resources efficiently and then navigate challenges effectively. They manage resources efficiently and navigate challenges effectively. So, in other words, you will find out from practices that a financially literate entrepreneur is better positioned, you know, to ensure long-term success and the sustainability of their businesses. So when you are financially literate, you will be a better entrepreneur. That's what we are saying. Okay. So bearing this at the back of our mind, CEOs and business owners need to understand the concept of financial engineering. What do we mean by financial engineering? That is how to efficiently allocate limited resources to unlimited needs. In sorry,
Yes,
I'm
bring it
beginning
on.
to sound,
I'm
I'm
enjoying
beginning
the
to
lecture. I'm
sound like
taking notes already. Bring it on.
I have my first degree in economics,
Yes.
and finance is a sub course under economics.
Okay.
So in economics, we have been taught and know that our money, what we call capital, is scarce and is limited. But what you want to spend money on is
Unlimited.
unlimited. So that is why you have to make a scale of preference so that you spend money on the most important
Thing.
things and leave those things that are not worth it. So when you are an entrepreneur, putting it at the back of your mind that money is not easy to raise, that your capital for your businesses are not easy to get. It's not easy to get money from anywhere. Then you have to spend the money judiciously, efficiently. You have to be able to allocate those resources. The resources are your capital, your raw materials, everything that you are using that money to buy, even your technical know-how, that is the brain that you are using to manage the business. You have to channel it towards what will be profitable. So we cannot talk about entrepreneurship without having to talk much on finance And you cannot talk about finance leaving out entrepreneurial activities.
Wow, wow. I feel like I've just been schooled. I love the reference to the scale of preference because earlier this week I had a conversation with one of my sisters and we were talking about the importance of having a business plan. She does have a business idea and she is looking for funds to be able to kickstart this idea. So we talked about the business plan, and yes, she put together a business plan, but we were brainstorming on how to make the business plan better. And then also we were discussing the need for a business plan. So I love the way you explained it in terms of the resources that we're trying to get are unlimited, but the financing, the money that we need, the funds are scarce. So having that scale of preference will help us to understand how to allocate the money to the most important resources. And I think that's what a business plan can do, because if you have the money before the business plan, there is a high tendency that you're going to spend that money on unnecessary things. So being able to prioritize things, and it's not just for business owners, I think, financial planning or financial engineering.
Engineering,
In
yes.
December, we had a session tagged Take Charge, where we shared with people how to budget for 2024 and to be able to manage their finances well. So if you are on this session right now and you missed the Take Charge session, that might be a good session for you to catch up on, because financial literacy is a big deal and it's one of the things that can propel you from point A to Z in your quest. And thank you so much, Dr. Amusa. I want to read some of the comments that were generated from that. And I'm going to start with Ahmed Blessing. She says, capital is relatively scarce while our wants are insatiable. That's one of the first things we learned in economics, right? Bolanle
Yeah.
Ibukule says, scale of preference it is. It looks like that resonated with her. And then we have Adenike Jinodu, spent on the most important things. Thank you for sharing this nugget. And if you are just joining us, my name is Shion Akinloton. I am the founder and president of the Power Woman Experience Foundation. If you are wondering what we do at the Power Woman Experience Foundation, we are a non-profit and we are dedicated to educating, empowering, and elevating upwardly mobile women in the Delaware Valley and indeed around the world who are striving for personal and professional development. So we are all about investing in women and helping you to scale through your careers and businesses. If you want to learn more about us, please feel free to visit our website at pwefoundation.org. That's where you can learn more about us. And I also wanted to seize this opportunity to tell you that we do have a lot of programs that we run throughout the year. Please follow us on social media. Our social media platforms can be found at My PWE Foundation. That's our social media platform, and we shall be scrolling that at the bottom of the screen. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. And lastly, if you have not shared this session, please share with a woman, share with a man, share with someone, and you never can tell whose life you will be transforming by doing so. Let us continue in this session for today. And I want to talk a little bit about challenges, because no matter the amount of success that we've been able to attain in life, there will be maybe 1 million challenges that we've had to either face and overcome along the way. So, Dr. B, could you please share some of the challenges that you faced along the way, either in your academia or in your family, trying to raise a family, and how you've been able to overcome those challenges?
Okay. Thank you once again, Oluwashim. There have been a lot of challenges. One is The society. The society in which you live can either make or mar you. So I want to say that I particularly thank God that the society did not mar me, because I happen I thank God that I got married to a very amazing man who gave me his wings to fly without even bothering whether I am going to fly higher than him. So it made, when your home is settled, the truth of the matter is that you won't have problem, you won't have external problems, because all those problems that you feel are problems, by the time you bring them home, and then your partner, your spouse, your children help you to dissect them, then you know that they are irrelevant. So, in achieving all my dreams, everything I had ever craved for, I thank God that my husband has been the backbone for. So, even when there are issues at work, you know, when certain people feel that you are climbing higher than them, the issue of I got here before her and then she's doing better than me. When you get home, you realize that there are no issues at all. So I will tell you that, aside the fact that the programs are hectic, in Nigeria, I don't know how it is abroad there. When you are running a PhD, they say you have to be patient. The H there is headache, and then the D is dedication.
Wow, I'm learning this for the first time. Patience, headache, and dedication.
And dedication. So you have to be patient, you have to be a hard worker, and then you have to be dedicated. Knowing fully well that the H in between is headache. Because there was a particular time that I wanted to run again, just like I did during the first master's degree program. You know, I actually wanted to quit, and my husband said no. You know what he told me? He said, Bolanle, when you started this program, some people heard that you have started your PhD program and they went to start their own too. So now you want to run away, Abi, and they will now finish their own. So what will happen when they start graduating? I quickly pulled myself together that no,
Yep.
I will not be counted among those people that have failed in life.
And that's a
And
powerful motivation right there.
yes, and he just advised me to take some time off, which I did. So I took some time off, I think like a semester, and then resumed back when I was ready. So if I didn't have anyone, a big pillar behind me, I wonder what would have become of that program. I would have abandoned it again,
Hmm.
because it was really tough. It was
All
really
right.
tough.
All right. Wow.
So, so the society, number one, because they will definitely want to limit you. They will definitely want to limit you. But you have to make sure that your mind is made up. Anything you want to do, make sure that your mind is made up. You know what you want to gain. Knowing fully well that I wanted the PhD, I know that I am in the academics, and I know that there are certain levels of academic competence in our field. And getting a doctorate degree is the only way to get to the top of your career, because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. So I set my eyes on the ball and said I was not, immediately my husband gave me that, reassurance again. I made up my mind that nothing was going to let me run again, that I was not going to abandon the program. So make sure that you know what you actually want. That's number one. So when you know what you want, nothing will deter you from getting it by the special grace of God. And then, first of all, I don't want to sound like a fanatic. I don't want to start, this is not a religious program. But the first one I should have mentioned is that you should have God as your rock anytime. When you have Him as your rock, when you trust in Him, then there is nothing that will be impossible for you to attain. There is no height
Absolutely.
that will be impossible for you to attain, except those ones that you do not want to attain. So basically, I didn't have too much problems. I didn't have too many challenges, because those things that I needed most, I had them, and I still have them to move and forge ahead in life. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for that response. It's greatly resonated with me. And it's always a good thing when we have people back home that, after all the toils and labor of the workplace, of the world, you can come back home and you find that reassurance in them. And I'm not sure whether you're able to answer this question, but we might have some people in our audience watching us right now and saying, well, I'm still single. Who do I fall back to? Or, okay, I'm married. Maybe I don't have a supportive husband. Do you have any tips from maybe experiences of other people in your circle or sphere of influence that might be single and they are still crushing it, or perhaps they are married but do not necessarily have a supportive family?
Okay, Sheung, my belief is that everything we needed to become someone in life, God has deposited in us. I
Wow.
don't want to believe that you do not have someone. It may not be your husband, it may not be your mother, it may not be your father, but you must have someone. Maybe your friend, maybe your neighbor, maybe your boss or your colleague at work. You must have someone. You just need to identify those opportunities
Hmm.
and then make sure that you tap into them. There must be someone. There must be someone. So you must have someone to lean on. We know that God is invisible, we cannot see Him. But there are people that you can see, that you cannot exist in isolation. So you must have someone. If you are not married, you may have a friend. It may be a sibling. For some people, it will even be their mother-in-law. You cannot imagine someone not having a supportive husband, but having a supportive mother-in-law. God is very, very wonderful. There
Wow.
will be someone, and there must be someone. You just need to look around and identify them,
And
because you
identify
need
them and be humble enough to
be humble
ask.
enough to seek for their support. That's another thing. Thank you very much for that, Sheun. You have to be humble enough to seek for their support or help.
Wow, this is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know that people are soaking in the nugget. I will share some comments that have been trickling in. So we do have Ahmed Blessing. says when your home is settled, external problems becomes easy to resolve. Absolutely. Adenike Jinadu says that when your home is settled, you won't have external problem. God bless the man behind your smile, Dr. B. And I say a big amen to that.
Thank you.
PhD has been redefined, or perhaps those of us that are not in that community, we're just learning something new. PhD is patience, ethic, dedication. It really sounds like it because I do have numerous friends with PhDs. And Ahmed Blessing says, I will not be counted among those that failed in life. Me too. I will not be counted among failures. Isaac Ajayi says, thank God the H is small letter. Yes, thank God.
Wow.
God
Yes.
gave us
Yes.
something
Yes.
beyond our
Yes.
capacity to bear. Sarah Arosho, thank you, Doc. This is just for me. And this is why we do this, because we know even if it's just one person that we are impacting, it's all worth it for us. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to move on real quick. And Dr. B, I want to dive a little bit into your moment of self discovery or perhaps personal growth that have helped you to shape your perspective on life and career. So, would you like to share some of the steps that you have taken personally to develop yourself outside of your academic journey? Any tips that you'd like to share with us? Personal growth?
Okay. Personal growth outside the academy. Okay. I think I would say that I am an extrovert. So I do go out a lot. And when I go out, I bring back things that are useful that will help me personally to grow. So when I go for, okay, like now I am presently the matron of the Red Cross Society of my school, the chapter of my school. Okay. And then I also do some philanthropic work, which I may not want to mention here. So, personally, I relate with people outside my workplace and learn a lot from them for my personal growth.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. And thank you for sharing that, because sometimes when we find ourselves in a bubble, like maybe our careers or our businesses, we tend to forget that there's so much out there that we
Yeah.
could still soak in, we could absorb. And it's by reaching out to those people serving. I love that you mentioned the act of service that you are involved in with the Red Cross being the matron and all that. So let's reflect a little bit on your achievements and experiences. What legacy do you hope to leave behind for future generations of women that are aspiring to follow your footsteps, perhaps in academia or raising a beautiful family?
Okay, Sean. That's okay. I by legacy, I mean you mean the positive impact I want
Yes.
people
What,
to
what would you
remember
like
me
to be known for? What
to
would
be
you
remembered
like?
for. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, I will want to be remembered as a jolly good fellow, a woman with a beautiful heart, but a firm educator. I don't want anybody to take that away from me that I am an educator. A jolly good fellow, you know, a party goer, a fantastic person, but a firm educator.
Educator.
Yes, who despite all odds did not lessen the standard for personal
Wow.
gain and benefits.
Who,
That's what I want
despite
to
all
remember.
odds, did
All
not
odds
lessen the
did not
standard
lessen the standard
for personal
for
gain
personal
or
gains
benefit.
at all. That's what I want to be remembered for.
Wow,
A
that is
fantastic woman.
beautiful. That is beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to read a few more comments before I ask my last question and we wrap up for the day. And I will start with Oluwagbemi Sola Amusa says failure is not an option. Yes, I agree with you on that. There must be someone to lean on. So these are comments from the previous question. And we also have Shoboye Joturi Lopez said, do not lessen the standards for personal gain despite all
Despite
odds.
all
Beautiful.
odds.
Thank you so much. Before I ask my last question, I just wanted to seize this opportunity to thank you all for being with us today, especially those of us that it is already 9 p.m. at our location. And I would like to reward the efforts that you have put into being here tonight. So I am going to select 5 people, the first 5 people that are living in Nigeria. Please tell me one thing that you learned or that you're taking away from this session today. And if you have my personal number, you can reach out to me for a 10,000 naira token for your data, the data that you used in logging in tonight. So that's my gift to you. I'll be giving 5 people. If anyone else wants to join me in doing this so that we can reach more people, that's fine as well. But I will be giving out 10,000 naira to 5 people, but you have to tell me your takeaway for tonight. And then also, let me add one more thing. You have to share this video on social media as well so that we can have more people to log in and perhaps learn something new. So we do have the AYT say, Dr. B, thank you for sharing your experience with us. Well done and keep up the good work. Awesome. And please, everyone, leave a word for Dr. B for sharing our story with us today. And while you're doing that, I want to ask my very last question, which I'm not sure how she would respond to this. But my question to you, Dr. B, is that if you had that opportunity to wind wind back to your 21-year-old self, what advice would you give her to your 21-year-old self? What advice would you give her?
Okay. It's my 21-year-old. Where was I when I was 21? I was, okay, I think I was in the university. Okay, so I would have advised her to be more firm in taking life decisions. I would have advised her to be more careful and maybe more, more careful and less careless.
More
That
careful
that,
and
that
less careless.
and less careless. Yes, and be firm. More firm than she was then. It
Awesome.
was a period. It was a period that we were we were trying to please certain people at the expense of our future, but it's not worth it at all. So the earlier you know that you cannot please anyone except yourself and yourself alone. So when you want to make a decision, know that if you are to judge yourself, you will not be displeased with yourself. So that's just it.
Wow. There you have it, folks. Be more firm in taking life decisions from Dr. B. Thank you so much once again for joining us. And on this note, it's a wrap. My heartfelt gratitude goes out to you all for defying the odds to join us today. I trust this session has been worth your time. And as we disengage, I implore you all to pay it forward by sharing this session with someone. And until next time, I'd like to say be exceptional, be intentional, and be on point. Bye bye.
Bye.